Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Welcome to Tarot Tuesday Tarot. How does a tarot spread for transforming burden into treasure sound? Does anybody have any burdens? Would anyone like some treasures? Today we're going to do a tarot spread called Darkness into Light. Now, I went hunting for a spread like this last night because I was like, dang, winter solstice, season of light, times of darkness, really feeling it this week, really seeing a lot of the ugliness going on. And I'm just like, I just want more light, right? But sometimes we have to be reminded about that story. Like there's two wolves that live inside of you, a dark wolf and a light wolf, and it's like the darkness wants to bring you down, but the light wants to take you home. And it's like, well, which wolf is gonna win? Which one? You know the story, right? The one that you feed. That was a very simplified, condensed version of this story and analogy or whatever, but you get it. What are you feeding inside of you? Which wolf? And I'll be honest, I like both the wolves. But you understand what I'm saying, darkness or light. And can we transform darkness into light just by shining more light? I don't think darkness can be battled from the light, really, because in order to battle darkness, you have to lower yourself into darkness and then you become dark. So it's like, well, then what do? Well, you shine more light. You just turn on the light switch in a room and all the darkness disappears. So same thing in our life too. It's like, if you want the darkness to go away, if you want the low vibes to go away, then you have to flip the switch, shine more light, feel more happy, listen to more K-pop, whatever it takes. Okay, so anyways, it's a 4-card spread by Shonna, Shonna. If you're on Instagram, on the spread itself, it says aceofstarstarot.com. And I think I went to that, and I think it's her old blog. I don't even know if she's updated it, but she does update her Instagram, which I figured out was Shonna, Shonna. Sometimes I have to be a detective, because I also found a couple other spreads that you might want to check out at Tarot Spread Layout. Excuse me, I just finished another chapter of A Course in Miracles. It took me 2 hours. And I was delighted when I hit publish for chapter 27. I'm also exhausted. But anyways, there's 2 other ones that you might be interested in doing this week. One is really cool looking, but it's 8 cards. It's Tarot Eclipse of the Heart, Healing Light for Shadow Work, and it looks fantastic. Yeah, where I feel instead I choose. That doesn't make sense to me, but it does make sense. We always have a choice. Anyways, that's on Tarot Spread Layout. You pull cards for fear, regret, guilt, and shame, but then above it on the brighter side of the circle sun, you've got courage, ownership, forgiveness, and love. That's kind of an abstracty one, so I'm not going to do it here because, I definitely feel like I'm at the end of my tarot game. I'm in the middle of it, but I feel like I'm at the end. And it's getting harder to ask questions the more I just know as my truth. I have less questions, but that one seemed cool. There was also an eclipse season tarot spread by New Age Hipster. That one looked cool. So I am hoarding these because I know I flip-flop and might want to come back to those. Plus, I've got like a freaking 100 other spreads on that page. You know how hoarding goes. It's never enough, and you always just add a few more, but they're good, so we got to keep them. We might use them. But yeah, it is getting a little bit harder for me to just play along with some of the dialogue that I know I've risen above, but yet I'm not completely out of it. So it's still appropriate for me to do some Tuesdays. As a matter of fact, after this one, I'll be doing 20 more. And then that's it. So I got to choose my spreads wisely. And then I still don't know if I want to continue to use the Herb Crafters Tarot in 2021, or if I want to use the Herbal Tarot or this other weird one. I don't know. So many big, humongous decisions. Wow, if this is as tough as it gets for me today, I'm doing pretty good. So here's what I just want to tell you in case, so you know if you want to hang out today or not. It's 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 are on the left, stacked, 1 on the bottom, 2 on the top left, and then 3 is down in the bottom right corner, and 4 is in the top right. Does that make sense? I'll explain it again. But anyways, you can lay them out however you friggin' want. It's 4 questions. The spread is called Darkness into Light, which I felt was perfect for the season, for the solstice, and just for the fucking world. A tarot spread for transforming burden into treasure. The first question is, what feels very difficult for me right now? And even if you don't have any tarot cards, these are fantastic journal prompts or just ideas to be like, oh my God, what feels very difficult for me right now? Like maybe the first thing we need to do is identify the problem. What feels very difficult for me right now? I'm pretty aware of what's difficult for me. Tolerance, dealing with people's fear and compliancy, and putting up with them being just mindless fools going along with the agenda of the dark. Okay. Well, it's good to pinpoint it, Sadie. It's good to pinpoint it. What feels very difficult for me right now? So you'll ask yourself that first question. Now, on top of that is the second question. The second card we'll pull, we will ask, what strength do I have to pull on to help me through this challenge? Okay, I love it because it's like we're pulling on pants. What strength do I have to pull on? Or maybe like a rope. Pull me out of it. Give me a hand. What strength do I have to pull on to help me through this challenge? I already know the answer. I already know the answer to my own question. It's love. It's love, you bitch. It's love. It's like you can't be judging people if you're loving them. Why are you judging your family? People can't help but fall into the trap of fear when they don't have anything else, when they don't know anything else, when they have never challenged their minds before. Like I just hate watching people drown in fear. You know, it's like sink or swim, y'all. Come on, get out of the fear pool. Get out of the fear. Okay, so yesterday, I'm just going to interrupt myself to tell you this. I was reading the Blue Vervain. That's our herb of the week, Vervain. I was typing up the affirmations for the printable that you can print and put on your fridge if you want. That's on the Herbal Marie Patreon page, or you can go to herboracle.blogspot.com, or hell, even herbalmarie.blogspot.com, and both have links to the Vervain page. But anyways, I misread the word sacred. The first affirmation is, my enthusiasm is a sacred fire. I misread it, and I read it instead as scared. My enthusiasm is a scared fire. And I thought, oh my God, wordplay, what's up? When you switch the A and the C, that's all the difference is between scared and sacred. It's just a little flip-flop of two letters. And so you know me with words and spells and spelling and synchronicities and everything, I'm such a weirdo, but whatever, that's how I live my life. I thought, holy shit, it's that simple of a choice. And what did Vervain talk about all day yesterday? Us changing our perspective, of us like getting a look at something that we'd never seen like that before. Like the riddle that I shared with you yesterday, right? Like just, oh my God, like I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, you did. And I told my mom, she's like, I never noticed that. Yeah, because they're not spelt. They don't, scared and sacred don't sound the same. But when you look at them, they are literally the same letters. Just the A and the C and the A are flip-flopped. And so I felt like that was a message from Spirit for us. Like if you are feeling scared, you need to tap in and transform it into sacred. And what happened to me last month being so sick? It scared me, but yet it inspired me to become more sacred, closer to God's source, all that is, the Creator, Great Spirit. It was like, oh my God, like I have to get closer to you because I'm coming back to you and I don't want to be scared about that. I want to feel like it is sacred. So I did a little blog post at herboracle.blogspot.com, and I have some images if you want to share it, if you want to share the post on Facebook or Twitter, that'd be cool, because there could be somebody who needs to understand that them feeling in fear and scared all the time, we can switch it. We can burn fear to the ground with our sacred fire. And think about that. Fire can get scary, right? If you've ever had a little too big of one or one that's got out of hand, we got to really be mindful of what kind of fire we are tending to. Are we building a fire that's going to get scary, or are we going to immerse ourselves in sacred flames, right? Who we truly are. So anyways, I love this whole feel this week of darkness into light and understanding that it's a choice. And maybe most people don't realize they have a choice. And maybe that's why I get annoyed with people who are like, oh, we have to wear our masks and keep everybody safe. If that's your choice. So anyways, our third card then will be, what is this challenge helping me to become? And in that question too, I understand, like, if I let people annoy me, I'm going to become more of a bitch. But if I can use my challenges to help me be more loving and tolerant and understanding of people's perspectives, right? Like, I don't want to yell at them. They're already afraid. So what choice do I have? I have to love them. So hopefully this challenge is helping me to become more loving. Here I'm doing my reading without any cards. Don't worry, we'll still pull cards. And so will you if you have a deck. And then our fourth question, what will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? What will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? That's an interesting way to put a question. What will I have to share? Do I have to share anything? What will I want to share? What will I be inspired to share? And I think like that's something too that like we have to get over too. Like we're always sharing with each other, whether we realize it or want to or not. So maybe we'll have knowledge to share. Maybe we'll have more love to share, strength. Ooh, it's like right now in the Course in Miracles, I'm reading like if you have to be healed in order to heal the world and heal other people. So it's like you have to accept this healing. You have to accept this light, this forgiveness, this strength, this love. So let all the good things come to you. so that's what you have to share. You cannot give something that you do not have. So if you want to give love, you have to have love, which means you have to receive love. If you want to give someone healing, that means you have to have it first. That means you have to heal first. So that's why all the time I'm seriously commending you for doing your healing work along with me. Yeah, thank you. The world thanks you. I thank you. You know, because when I slip and fall energetically, hopefully, don't be breaking no hips, Sadie. When I stumble and lose sight of love and peace and harmony and all that beautiful shit that I do want to manifest, I'm depending on you to remind me. I'm depending on, like, I don't know. I just know that, like, whenever we share our journeys together, like, I might have a moment where I am faltering and I can look to you and be like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We're of the light. So that's how we help each other. And I think that's what we will want to share with others after we go through our challenges, after we transform our burdens into treasures, our darkness into light. We will have many, 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 many good things to share. All right, without further ado, and more likely before I forget to do them, let's do our affirmations with our herb of the week, vervain. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our magical herb of the week, vervain, and I lovingly dedicate them all to you. Thank you. My enthusiasm is a sacred fire. I ride the boat of inner faith. I open myself to different perspectives about my life, relationships, and love. I experience union and magic in the world. I choose a more loving path for myself. My enthusiasm is a sacred fire. I ride the boat of inner faith. I open myself to different perspectives about my life, relationships, and love. I experience union and magic in the world. I choose a more loving path for myself. And so it is. So you're getting your decks out. I at least got mine out of the drawer, but I didn't shuffle it or nothing because I'm just sort of contemplating and dwelling on this first question that we're going to be presenting to our tarot decks. What feels very difficult for me right now? Sometimes it's hard to know, or you're like, how do I feel about this? Like, how would you feel if one of your patrons deleted their pledge like the week of Christmas? Right? Like, when I'm like, well, I don't know their situation. Maybe she's broke, or maybe I said something to piss her off, which I was on a roll this past week. It was my intention to piss as many people off as possible. So, but it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. Do I have to feel any way about it? Like, part of me doesn't even care, but part of us, like, and I don't know if that's like our egos too, that like, it's like, oh, you're going to let yourself get upset about that? How do you feel about that? How do you feel? I don't know. Maybe, do I have to feel any way about it? Like, but then when things do feel difficult for us, it's kind of like, well, why does it feel so difficult? I'm looking at this heart on the blue vervain card, and she's saying, it felt difficult because you stepped away from love. It feels difficult because something about it is not true. It feels difficult because it's illusion. It feels difficult because you're choosing separation instead of unity. So what feels difficult for me right now? I mean, even good things sometimes can be confusing. Like, how would you feel if the church wrote you a check for $500? Would you feel blessed, or would you feel obligated to go to church, or would you feel like poor, needy? looked upon in the community as somebody who's having a difficult time. I mean, sometimes I don't know how to react to lots of things. So I don't know. What feels very difficult for me right now? I would say life in general. Just kidding. No, like definitely, you know, like I said, the topics at hand in the world are difficult for me. My friend, online friendish person, James posted something yesterday about like vaccine tracker apps and how they're trying to set it up that, you know, in order to walk into certain places, you have to prove that you've been vaccinated. That's difficult for me because I am one to protect health freedoms and health sovereignty and health privacy. So yeah, like what kind of world are we creating, you know? And then I'm trying to explain to my mom, like, hey, everyone being compliant and not questioning anything is basically leading us all into slavery. Perhaps we should rethink. Perhaps, you know, it's like, and then she's like, but I don't know what to think. I understand. It's difficult right now. Me too. I get it. So what feels very difficult for me right now? Maybe information, because there's so much disinformation. There's so much conflicting stuff. And then like what the Course in Miracles is teaching me at the same time, it's so synchronistically funny. It's like illusions make you choose between illusions all the time, thinking like that you're getting a different choice, but actually it's all just illusions. So it's like, then part of me is like, don't get swept up in any of it. Right? And that's kind of the blue vervain picture too. That heart that has the vervain and around it and within it, it's not in the waters that's swirling and moving and sweeping along. It is not getting swept up in the emotions. It is staying in its place of love, in its place of safety, security, certainty, reality. And then when you do that, then this whole world does very clearly appear to be insane. And why would you want any part of it? You know, and then, so anyways, I really feel like it is certainly my calling to immerse myself in my studies in 2021 with A Course in Miracles, if for no other reason than just to be comforted and not put a foot in the waters of illusionment. I don't even want to stick my toe in it. I really want to stay out of it. And it's like, hey, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? So I am really, okay, so now I've summoned all my difficulties. Here we are. Oh, thanks for joining us today. But then I also at the same time don't want to be tortured or depressed or hopeless. You know, I want to stay in love with spirit, with life. I want to have enjoyment. I want to feel good and safe. I hate feeling threatened. I hate feeling like I have to go into battle. And you know, it does not feel good because that is not my truth. I'm hoping that's what it is. Anyways, what feels very difficult for me right now? Pulling this first card. So they're in like a squarish. And this one's going in the bottom left quadrant. And then the 2 will go on the top left side. So a little different of a placement. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1 and 3 is at the bottom and 2 and 4 is at the top. Okay. Are you shuffled? Is there anything else that needs to be said? I love you. Even if our views conflict, that's what we want in the world. We want us to all just love each other. And, you know, that's why I try to always question my own views. Like, I just try to terrorize myself so I leave everybody else alone. Like, I just am always trying to break my own views down and not get caught up in what somebody else is experiencing. But then, yeah, the difficulty becomes when I think what someone else is experiencing is going to interpose or become part of my experience. And the Arcturians are like rolling their eyes right now. I can feel them, because they're like, that's not how it works. And so that's why they're always, always, always saying, like, just focus on yourself. Just focus on yourself. And so anyways, I think today's going to be a great day for the next week or whatever to really take a lot of time to rest and meditate and receive the beautiful light energies that are coming in since the solstice. And really, from our peaceful hearts, from our peaceful places of power, tap in to that energy that holds us and helps us transform our burdens into blessings, our burdens into treasures, our darkness into light. So if someone can be hateful to you and you can still feel love towards them and just stay in love, stay in your heart, then I crown you victorious, because it's like such a hard thing to do. But the more and more we try and succeed in staying in love and staying in our hearts, just like the Bach flower Vervain card, she's got her hand on her chest, like always remembering, stay in love. Keep your flames in check. You don't need to burn anybody. Your flames are sacred. Your enthusiasm is sacred. Your love is sacred. So use this to inspire, not to scare. Okay, not to scare. Okay, so what feels very difficult for me right now? What feels very difficult for me right now? Oh, I got 2 cards. Honest to God, 2 friggin' cards. All right. We got Red Clover and Comfrey. So Comfrey is upside down. 10 of Fire. And oh my God, this is weird. And Red Clover is 10 of Water. So 10 of Fire, 10 of Water. Isn't that interesting that I'm talking all about fire and flames, and I get the 10 of Fire with the 10 of Water. So it's like, yeah, maybe I feel like I'm having a little trouble with my inner fire. Sometimes it's raging, but more so for me, it's like about to go out. Right? It's like comfrey is such a healing herb, has such a healing message. And I can't help you heal unless I am healed. I can't give you love unless I have received love. So I can't give you a little start of my fire unless I keep mine going. And it's like, so I feel like there's a message there. It's like, what feels very difficult for me right now? Well, maybe tempering my fire. It's like I've got equal parts fire with equal parts water. How's that gonna work? Right? So yeah, there's a real interesting mix there. Comfrey and Red Clover. I love the Red Clover card. It's so happy and pink, and there's a rainbow mug, and there's like red clovers everywhere. On the counter, in the jar, in the teacup, in the cup, on the spoon, on the windowsill, and outside in the window, in the grass. It's just pink, 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 everywhere. Like, how can you not feel happy about that? And then there's a little bit of pink in the Comfrey card, of course, because it's in bloom. And yeah, though, but this card is upside down, so I have to kind of see how everything is a little bit different looking for me. Like, I don't see the heaviness of the project on the counter. What I see is things sort of suspended, it being reversed and kind of not as heavy and a little bit weightless. And yeah, very interesting. And now see, like, what is that? Beeswax? That would be beeswax, but when it's upside down, it looks like kind of like a sparkling energy sun at the top of the card. And that Comfrey beside it almost looks like a spoon or a hand, like trying to hold the light. Ooh, what it's feels very difficult for me right now? Trying to maybe hold the light, a little self-doubt, a little, I don't know if I can do this. I'm gearing up to commit to do a lesson of A Course in Miracles every day publicly. And that's a little bit self-questioning, like, you're gonna do this? You can handle this, right? And it's like Spirit's like, yep, it's only 365 days. And I'm like, okay, it's only 365 days, but like, it's like, can I do this without exhausting myself, without giving myself something to heal? And Red Clover is saying like, yeah, you gotta go with flow. And Comfrey's like, yeah, and we will heal you as you go. Very good. So anything else? What feels very difficult for me right now? Tens. I got 2 10s. 10, 10. I got 2 10s is what is difficult for me. Now the 10s in, this is the Herb Crafters Tarot by Letitia Guthrie and Joanna Powell Colbert. The 10s feature herbs that are used as composting plants and cover crops. So compost, replenish, rebirth. We got the 10 of Fire, Comfrey, that says there can be too much of a good thing. Stop, step away, soothe yourself, cut it down, and it roars back to life. Yeah, okay. And the Red Clover, the 10 of Water, says taste the nectar of deep nourishment. Serenity rises from the roots of gratitude. Compost breeds contentment. So what feels very difficult for me right now? Perhaps finding that serenity, that gratitude, getting deeply nourished. Oh, yeah, I do need to deeply nourish myself. I've just been running on black tea and chocolate. Yeah, so it's like I do probably, if I'm feeling a little bit jittery and not grounded, maybe some deep nourishment, maybe it's just been feeling difficult for me to eat. That is true. So yeah, be aware of that. What feels difficult for me right now? Soothing myself, maybe stopping and stepping away for a little break. I don't know. So these are some interesting things that my cards have given me to think about. How about you? What did you get? What feels very difficult for me right now? Comfrey says that peace follows overwhelm. You may be overextended. The shelves in this room are full, yet the crafting continues. Rest and replenish so your experiences can take root. So yeah, I do feel like gotta definitely rest as much as I can rest and still stay committed. Like I really haven't signed up for too much, almost too much, but I think as long as I really prioritize resting and replenishing and loving, refresh your love of creating by releasing some self-imposed responsibilities. So yeah, know that I'll have to focus on what's super important, and maybe discard some of the rest. Sort of like whenever you do make a really ginormous comfrey harvest, or any herb really, and you've done everything you can with it, and at some point the only thing left to do, even though there's still so much left, is compost it. You just can't get it all done, right? So in those moments, we have to give ourselves permission, like, yeah, I would just probably feel refreshed and happy, like Red Clover says, if I just, she says, before even the compost, she says, why don't you share your good fortune with others? So it's like, know when to give it away. Even a good thing, it's like, know when to share it, know when to share responsibilities, know when to rest, know when to, don't overextend yourself. So anyways, if harmony's been feeling a little difficult, if healing, if replenishing, going with the flow, Comfrey and Red Clover are here to acknowledge that with the 10s. That, might be a little bit difficult, but Our next question is, what strength do I have to pull on to help me through this challenge? So yeah, the workload is heavy in the comfrey kitchen. There's so many red clovers. It's like, how could you harvest them all, let alone half, right? You don't want to harvest them all because the bees like red clover, but it's like abundance is here in this red clover, and it's like, how much can you gather without breaking your back and stooping over to pick them up and squatting down, and how much does your lower back and knees want to do that, you know? And it's like, at some point you just have to say, okay, good enough, that's enough. Like, yeah, I could go on and on and on and on, like with this podcast, but I know that I have to lay it to rest at some point. Like, okay, that's enough, good enough. And it's okay to do that, even though it might feel difficult to do that. All right, so you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna have to definitely have a little comfrey and red clover in my cup later on. What strength do I have to pull on to help me through this challenge? So these tiny challenges that I have, what could help me? What could help me? See, I want to minimize my challenges, absolutely, even though they can be overwhelming. Garlic. How funny is this? What strength do I have to pull on to help me get through this challenge? I actually pull the strength card, garlic. So what strength do I have? I actually have strength. Now this garlic is reversed though, so I'm going to leave it like that because I haven't been garlicking. So I feel like it's saying you should garlic. You used to love to garlic. Maybe you loved it because your ex-husband hated it, but so I may have had some ill intentions with my garlic. But I really used to like feel like I needed more garlic in my life. And then garlic one time made me sick. Really, it gave, oh man, I think I got it hurt. Either I had too much or something, and then I just never garlic kind of scared me that one time, and it went from being sacred to being scared. See, it can go both ways. So now I need to not have it scared and turn it back into sacred, and pull on its strength and the strength that it can give me. So physically, spiritually, energetically, what strength do I have to pull on to help me get through these challenges? Humorously enough, we pull the strength card. Is that just some funny shit or what? Now, garlic says, lead with a bold, kind heart. Gentle healing builds resilience. Power sweetened is strength unmatched. So yeah, this is that card that says like, have courage, and in your soft spirit, that's where it can dwell. Courage dwells in the soft spirit. Meet adversity with inner fire. So I do feel like that reversed 10 of fire was saying, what is very difficult for me right now? Keeping my inner fire going. Absolutely. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I feel exhausted some parts of the day. Now, I was exhausted yesterday when my mom visited, and it was almost like, do I have to lower my energy to just chat with her? Is that what's going on here, or am I actually exhausted? And then last night my energy came back to me, so I'm like, well, apparently I'm not that exhausted because look at me dancing. I don't know, but I definitely know that garlic is right, that I do need to lead with a bold, kind heart. So never be too exhausted to be kind. And I think Vervain supports that whole message of us staying in our heart space and keeping our inner fire going. I have this picture of a tree goddess Deva woman on my blackboard. She has her hands up, growing into all the branches. And on her trunk chest, she has a flaming heart. She's got that fire coming from her heart. You do, I do, we all do. Even though sometimes it gets diminished to the point that we think it's going to extinguish, it never will go out. There always will be a spark. We can flame it, we can temper it, we can build it, we can nurture it, we can feel it. Let's get a healthy fire going. Let's get a sacred fire. Let's get that inner fire going and hopefully knock it indigestion. All right, so garlic strengthens the heart and increases stamina. So I need to get it in me, even if I just start with those capsules, a little garlic powder on my whatever, and then get back into cooking more with garlic. See, I just used to press raw garlic and put it in honey, and that's when it got a little too expelling for me or something. Unless there was something up with it, because I don't think my son did very good with that dinner either. We were both not feeling well. So, hey, just let it go, right? Try it again. You have the power to persevere. Cultivate reliable habits that enhance vitality. So it's time to get back to drinking a little celery juice, to eating some greens, to having a little garlic, I've really let myself go, and it's hard. Well, I came off of a rough sickness and then went right into depression. So it's hard to take care of yourself when you hate life and don't feel the rewards very much. But so it's listen, well, life is going to even suck more now that you have no energy. So let's put on our strength pants. Let's pull on strength. Right? Let's pull on our garlic pants, and let's get a little garlic in us, because let's just be nerds about this. Garlic boosts the immune system and protects against illness. So let's just make some garlic broth, garlic tea. Let's heat up the body, ignite some passion. Let's step into your power. And remember, a compassionate approach is powerful. So being a sweetheart, a loving garlic-breathed sweetheart will be my superpower, will be yours as well. So let's step into it. We can mix it with a little honey, and it'll make it more palatable, more effective, and tames the medicine. Embrace both the gentle and the wild within. So what strength do I have to pull me through this challenge? Garlic. Garlic is going to get you through anything and everything. And if it doesn't, then you weren't supposed to make it through it, okay? So eat your garlic, open up your heart, feel compassion and kindness, and go with the flow and be healed and be strengthened, and lead with your sacred flame shining through your heart. And I'm excited now to see what this challenge will help me to become. All right, so I feel like the deck today is every week you think you need a different deck, but I'm your deck, honey. I am your deck. Isn't it kind of funny how I'm I don't know if I should keep using this deck in 2021, and the deck is when's she gonna get it? We are so tuned into each other. I know. It's an awesome deck, you guys. And I feel in a way, I'm I know it's silly, because I've really put so much energy into this deck, and this deck is so connected to my heart. I just wonder if that's just ego being bored, I guess, or wanting to put doubt in. But it is a pretty amazing deck, isn't it? All right, so third question. This one's going on, but we're going back down to the bottom. And those first two cards, I just kind of overlap them. So they have to share the square, all right, Hollywood Squares. You remember that dumb show? How sometimes two people would have to be in that box. They're just sitting real close to each other. Okay, squeeze in. Okie doke. We're going back down here to the bottom right. And the question is, what is this challenge helping me to become? Of course, we want it to help us become better people, less of bitches. Oh my God. I know. It is a challenge. And that's what I'm feeling. Like, I'm like, okay, here's what I feel like. Here's the clarity for me. Yes, this is a challenge. And you are constantly, like, every time you turn around, being asked, do you want to be a bitch? Do you want to be a lover? Do you want to be a bitch? Do you want to be a lover? You know, and it's like, I feel like the challenges are going to keep coming at me. And so that means that I have to up, like garlic, red clover, and comfrey all suggested. I have to up my nourishing. I have to up my love. I have to increase my meditations. I have to surround myself with positivity. I have to basically be reminding myself all day long that I am love. Yeah, all day love. All day love. All day love. Love, 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 love. Because the challenges will sniff out that one moment where I am not paying attention or not in love. And that's when they'll challenge me. And I'll have to make the choice real quick then in that moment, be a bitch or be a lover. And it's just going to benefit me if I can stay in love and close to love and surrounded by love and be love as much as I can. Like, just start to radiate that, have that love fire all the time so that I don't have to constantly be challenged and choose. I don't have to feel like I'm being rocked. I don't have to be on that Six of Swords boats getting a little motion sick or wondering if it's going to flip over. No, I'm always making that choice to be loved, be loved, be loved, be loved. So I kind of have to almost stay like ahead of the challenges, ahead of the game by being proactive within love territory, you know? And then if the challenges come in, it's like they will feel the love and know that like they're up against the biggest power in the universe, love. And so they might as well put it down. What is this challenge helping me to become? Okay, pull yourself a third card now, asking, what is this challenge helping me to become? No! This is awful. As I'm asking, I didn't even get the friggin' sentence out, and a friggin' rocketeer rockets to the ground. I've never been less excited to see the Three of Air. I've never been less excited to see Echinacea, because I feel like, you know, it's like Three of Air is the Three of Swords. I feel like it's like, oh my God, what is this challenge helping me to become? They're going to put their swords in me. Oh, and I still have to love them. Why is this card making me cry? I literally feel like I just literally felt the intensity of the love challenges, of the challenges that are coming to stay peaceful and to stay loving and to literally be pierced with swords of hatred, and yet you still have to stay true to love. Can you do it? That's what this challenge is helping me to become. That's what the challenges in your life are helping you to become. 3 swords in your heart and it still beats. Think of the challenges that people overcome. Grief, heartache, love, they still keep going. Oh, Jesus, emotions, what the fuck? All right, Echinacea says, speak the truth about your heartbreak. Be the medicine that heals the purest heart. Healing from grief takes time. I have not cried in a podcast since like Kali Ma. I think a lot of times we want to detach and be like, what feelings? What challenges? What heartache? What grief? I'm so detached. You can't touch me. No, 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 no. We all become gingerbread men. But that's not going to heal. That's not going to undo the problem where the problem is. That's where you heal. You go to the wound. You go to the grief. You go to the heartache. You don't walk away from the pierced heart and pretend like there's not a knife in it. You go up to the wound and you pull the knife out of it, and it hurts. And then you put your hand on it and stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? And I feel like if there's something that these challenges are helping us to become and asking us to do, it's saying, look at it, walk up to it, look fear straight in the eye, walk up to your grief and put your arms around it. Literally feel your feelings. Pull yourself together, Sadie. Literally feel your feelings. Cry if you want to. Scream if you want to. Break down and just break into a billion pieces if you want to. It really is okay to do that. It really is. Break into a billion pieces and see that even still, even then, even yet, you can still not be completely undone. You are still held together by something. You still exist. Even in your darkest night, even in your greatest despair, even in your biggest challenge, you are still held together. And what is that? What is that part of you that refuses to die? That's you, honey. That's you. That's your divinity. That's your divine love. That's God. That's you. That's the real you. It cannot be broken. And that's what we have to learn, even with these challenges that seem like they are going to break us. Nothing can hurt us. Nothing can destroy us. Like, we are eternal beings, and we have this pain, grief, challenge, heartache, stress, experience, earth life, right? This stuff that we're going through. And yet, even still, we cannot be destroyed. So that is your eternal self. That is your true self. That's what Echinacea wanted to bring forth as it shot itself out onto the floor. Like, you will see me. You will see your grief now. You will look at your heartache. You will look at your sadness. You will look at your fear. And all you can do is, like Vervain asks us to do, is put our hands on our hearts and be like, all right, and then you sit with it. Heartache leads to self-knowledge. So even though sometimes our realities are agonizing and literally confronting us, right? We have to know our true selves. We have to accept it as it is. We have to learn from it. We have to learn our power. We have to learn our eternal nature. That is what devastation and destruction teaches you. That you can't be destroyed. You cannot. You will not be destroyed. So echinacea in the body builds a strong body, just like garlic, just like comfrey, just like red clover. It increases our resistance to infections. It's a very strong ally within the physical realm and emotionally. Through the grieving process, echinacea will help you. Find comfort in your sorrow. Echinacea is a slow-growing plant. Sit with your grief as long as it takes. So what is this challenge helping me to become? Somebody who cries in her podcast? Stop that. Like, that's the thing, you guys. The feelings come in, and who are we to deny them? I felt them. I felt it, and now they're gone. Right? But what would have happened if I, resisted them? And didn't feel them and pretended like they weren't there and they didn't exist. Some things just need to be acknowledged. And if you're not acknowledging your grief, if you're not even expressing or acknowledging your heartache, well, it has nowhere to go then, because all it wants you to do is validate it. And it's like, see me, I'm here. Pay attention to me, acknowledge me, and then you won't, you refuse to, and then it continues to torture you because it's looking for your validation, and you're in that validation, you release it. So yeah, if you still have heartache, if you still have grief, if you have these challenges, let the challenge help you to express yourself. Let the challenge help you to feel more of yourself. Let the challenge teach you to open up. Let the challenge strengthen you. Start to see your burdens as treasures in the aspect that they did indeed strengthen you. Wow, that really sucked, but I pretty much can handle whatever else life throws at me because of it. Start to see that all these 3 of air or 3 of swords moments, they have pierced our heart, but a broken heart is an open heart. Now we have more holes in our heart for love to come in and flow out, to shine light. It's like all those places where you were stabbed, see light beaming out of it. You put a flashlight up to that hole and now there's a beam of light coming out. You're literally flaming inside with love so much, this fire, that the light is coming out of all the holes because you went up to the swords and you pulled them out. You acknowledged that they were there. Don't just keep on running around with swords stuck in your heart. It's time to pull them out. Yes, there will be a hole, but that's where the love and light will now have another place to exit and enter and exit and enter and flow and really shine bright. So that's a lot of good stuff that challenges can help us become. But dang, I literally had to feel the challenges for a second and it was intense. I don't even know if that was mine. I really don't think it was. That was like a collective rush of, oh my God, here I go crying on my podcast again. All right. Okay. Now the fourth one is, what will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? Well, obviously I share everything. I really do. And I really don't, like, that is where that fear comes in, because I really don't want to be challenged any worse or any more just for the sake of having more to share, you know? Like, that is like my worst fear, to like lose a child or something and then have to tell you about it on my podcast. Like, could I even? You know what I mean? The ego, sick mind, tortures us like that. It tortures me with those thoughts sometimes. Like, my ex-husband and I, like, we both, you know, want to definitely die first. And it's become like a joke between us, like that we're each trying to die before the other one. And of course we want to die because we never want to deal with the loss of a child. And so when I was sick last month, I was like, you're just jealous because I'm going to die first. And he's like, fuck you, I'm going home and killing myself. You know what I mean? It's a joke, but he's like, I'm not going to live that long. And I'll say, haha, it'll be funny when I die first. You know, and like, we just have this ongoing banter because we don't want to deal with anything really bad. We want to be smart and die first. I don't know. It's a sick joke. I know. But like, we have it and it's funny. But yet there's a lot of truth to it too, because we think, oh God, I don't know if I could handle that. You know, I don't know if I could go on. I don't know some of these challenges, like, will I be able to be strong enough? And I don't even want to find out. And I don't know. So there's quite a topic now on the table, isn't there? About having challenges, having burdens, having darkness, having things happen, having things flow in that were unexpected. And can we turn them into light? Can we transform them? Can we be strengthened by them? Ooh, can we become more because of them? Interesting. All right, let's drink something and get ready to pull our fourth and final card. Yeah. So how do we, as I take a little vervain tincture here, just in the spirit of the herb of the week, because I have it and I'm excited that it's here. How do we continue to ride the boat of inner faith? Ooh, see, we don't want to go crazy and jump off the boat. So this boat of inner faith, this inner fire, this inner place of sacredness, that's what we need to strengthen. That's what we need to have always to turn into, right? Our hand on our higher heart, our heart space, our heart chakra, right? Our place of power, even though technically our place of power is probably a little bit lower. Let us find strength and power and reassurance in our hearts and in our bellies and in that place within us that we can turn to. So big message. Are you feeling it, that we need to go within? I mean, it's always our message. I get it. But dang, let's really get to know that place so that we have that place, that inner boat of inner faith, of inner strength, of inner fire, of inner love, of inner union, of inner magic. Yeah. Of inner compassion and love. And that is what we will want to share with others. So what will I have to share with others after going through this challenge. All right, so I'll pretty much share everything with you if I can. Even my germs. All right, let's see here. No! Oh no, we have two falling out in the middle. I was like trying to clean up the choppy shuffle that I was doing, but now two have totally would not leave. Aw, well, you're gonna fucking love it. It's reversed motherwort and upright 8 of fire ginger. So we've got the Madre of air being reversed, but she looks fantastic reversed. And she's cutting a whole chunk of motherwort with a big old hooked knife, sickle or sylph. Why can't I remember the names of tools? Like, I am terrible with the names of tools. I wonder why. But anyways, how cool is this? It comes in with fire. So what will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? One, the remedy that gets me through all my challenges, motherwort. That is so funny now. And more fire, ginger, this inner fire. Now, this fire is almost out of control. If I saw that in my kitchen, I would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that I don't flame like that. I don't cook like that. Okay. I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone in the ginger kitchen. There's ginger, limes, scallions, yum, yum, yum. It's going to be good, but it seems like it's a message to me that says, listen, you're going to have so much more fire to share with others. Okay. Go through these challenges. Even though whenever I started out, my challenges weren't that big. They really weren't big enough for me to cry with the 3 of air. And that's why I really think, like, all of a sudden I got a taste of what other people have gone through, what other people are going through. Yeah, a little taste of like fear, what you could be going through. But it was way bigger than what I personally have ever known. And it was overwhelming. It really was. I know that wasn't all me. It couldn't have been, because I really have not had that many bad things happen to me. Like, I've been blessed and protected and I don't know what, but like, that was intense. That 3 of air made me want to bawl. That was so sad. And it's like, oh man, maybe I just needed to have a whiff of it, a taste of it, because I have to understand what people are going through. And maybe not run away from their pain, because I think it's contagious. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, well, have you ever had a friend who lost a child? Because it's like you almost like don't know how to be around them. And it's like just too much. You don't know how to be around their grief. You don't know how to do it. And it's like stepping into some other people's perspective and experiences. It's intense. But I think it's good for me to do, because it gives me a greater understanding, a greater capacity to forgive and to love and to have sympathy and compassion and open my heart more. Absolutely. So let me grab the book here. So it is funny though, what will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? Motherwort, which is what I always do share. Like, when I talk about how like I used to have anxiety and overwhelmment, and still for my children I worry, some, not as much like I used to, but like it'll find me every once in a while and be like, what are they going to do for their future, right? And then all of a sudden I'm like, motherwort, where are you? So yeah, I've given bottles of motherwort away. That is something that I legitimately have to share with people. Hopefully she grows again this summer. but yeah, I've shared my experience, how she helped me get my repetitive, fearful, anxious thoughts under control. And let's see what Ginger has to say, though, too. So, Ginger is the 8 of fire. And where is it hiding? So, I do love the idea that I'll have way more fire to share. Adapt swiftly to unexpected changes. You can handle the heat. Act quickly when inspiration strikes. What will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? Well, I'm going to be able, and I already am able, to handle more than I've ever been able to handle. So I can handle the heat. I can handle the interaction. I can handle whatever it is, these people that want to come up to me and put a knife in my heart. I can handle that because I know that they can't really hurt me. And all I'm going to offer them back is love. And what will happen? I will remind them of who they truly are. So as I know who I am truly, then I will have that to offer. As I have this sacred flame of love and light and creativity growing within me, I can share that as well. So there's a lot of good things to share when you do the work of looking at your wounds and your grief and undoing them at the wounded site. You can't just heal your broken heart 6 feet away from it. You have to actually go up to the broken heart, and where it happened is where you heal the wound. You have to go right up to the place of puncture. This is an analogy, but also literally, you know, how do you put a Band-Aid on something 6 feet away from you? You can't. You have to go up to the boo-boo. You have to go up to the infection to clean it. You have to go up to the wound to heal it. So whatever your wounds may be, that's what I want to share with people. You have to dive into your darkness. You have to go into the pain to heal it, to undo it, and just understand that it really isn't anymore. It isn't anymore. And that's the Course in Miracles, so you'll have to read that book. But anyways, what else can I share with others? Inspiration comes from all directions. Can you handle so many things at once? Yes, you can. Change is happening quickly. Show people how to adapt swiftly. Show people how to handle the heat. Show people how to still be creative even in challenging times. All right? Yeah, things are crazy, but guess what? You can still live your life. You can still be creative. You can still take a slower, more peaceful road. Ooh, that was our last affirmation. I choose a more loving path for myself. So we can choose a more loving path. We can choose an easier path. We still have choice in every moment. What will I have to share with others after going through this challenge? Motherwort says, be fierce in service to the heart of the matter. It's like, I will ferociously be in service to you. What do I have to offer and share with others? Unwavering love. Unwavering truth to being peaceful and unconditionally loving. Like, I will be that faithful boat, right? It's like, if I can stay true to my heart, then I can show other people that they can also do that. Think about the example that you can set in your life. So say what you mean and mean what you say. Quick bite, deep nourishment. So the Madre of Air, she's led by a deep sense of integrity. She cuts right to the point, even if it hurts. Like bitter motherwort, her words may sometimes be hard to swallow, but clarity opens the path to truth. She knows her values and makes quick, rational decisions without doubting her choices. Just as motherwort often softens those with a spiky disposition, the Madre of Air diffuses tension with others using humor and wit. She soothes unchecked emotions and allows common sense to come forward. She understands that execution of purpose comes best from a calm, loving center. Embrace your sharp edges. They create the container for your tenderness. So it's like sometimes you do just have to be completely honest and truthful, but be loving about it. You know, like if someone's really falling into fear, say, I think you're falling into the trap of fear. Or I think illusions are devouring you today, honey. Ha 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 ha. But like maybe that is what they need to hear, to be like, oh my God, you're right. Like I'm completely losing it today. Like I am a freaking mess. Do you have any motherwort? Yes, thank you. And then it's like you can just be honest with people. Like, hey, I just want to let you know that I know the world's crazy, but usually you stay in your heart space better than you are right now. And people are ready to be reminded when they fall out of their hearts. Like just give them a little lift back into their heart space. Don't fight with them when they falter. Just help them back into their hearts. You know, just be a little motherwort for them. Calm them down and help them climb back into their heart space because they clearly fell out. And hey, it's a simple mistake, and get your ass back in your heart. Who's going to argue with that? Nobody. So we're going to have lots to offer people from our experiences, from, our heartaches, from our challenges, from our darkness. I will just say that I have spent literally 4 years, definitely 4 solid years diving into every aspect of myself, and a lot of it was darkness, and it sucked. And guess what? Now I can show other people how to do it and come back out of it feeling stronger and more fiery and passionate than ever. More loving, more compassion. Yeah, that's what it did for me. That's what it did to me. But I had to dive into the darkness to turn it into light. I had to transform my burdens into treasures, and I'm still doing it. I do not claim to be done because I still feel burdens in my life. And I told you that. I feel like I'm tolerating certain individuals. Okay, well, those people, I need to transform them into my treasures now. You know, it's all about perspective. And I guess that's why this week we're hanging out with Vervain, who encourages us to open ourselves to different perspectives about life and relationships and love, and really start to experience union in the world. All right, so many thanks to Shona and aceofstartarot.com for this awesome layout. I feel like we should go listen to Firestarter. Was that Prodigy or something? Because we are going to share our fire along with our love and our light. But yeah, we got to get the flames going, you guys. I ain't joking about that. scared. We need to transform that scared flame into a sacred flame, and ASAP. We need to burn fear to the ground. So that means we have to walk up to fear sometime and put our little fiery finger on it. But whatever it takes, y'all, because this is the theme. This is the world we're living in, and you get to choose. You get to choose. Do you want to let your difficulties and challenges bring you down, or do you want to feel strengthened by them? Do you want to become through them? Do you want to become more because of them? Do you want to turn darkness into light? Do you want to transform your burdens into treasures? And then, do you want to share these gifts with others? So it's a yes, yes, yes. All the answers were yes. Okay. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Come back again tomorrow. Apparently, we're going to manifest more wisdom. What the heck do you think we're doing here? We do that every single day. But tomorrow, somehow we're going to focus on that. So thanks so much. So much love to you. Sorry, not sorry that I almost lost my shit in a podcast. Every once in a while it happens. And it's always probably a really good thing for me. So anyway, so much love and flaming inner fire to you. Hey, can I pop in for a quick after comment? Literally, I reach for my phone. My mom just texted me. During the night, someone set fire to our cousin's property down by Pittsburgh. Looks like it was arson, over $2 million worth of damage to equipment. And then my mom says, we better dance harder, because she sent a picture along with it that says, hard times require furious dancing. Just wanted to share that with you because so much fire in this podcast. And whenever I went to name the last segment, Flaming in a Inner Fire, I used voice to text and it wrote Flaming in a Fire. So let us make the choice whether we want to have a flaming inner fire or be flaming in a fire. So there's a lot going on this week, and I just wanted to share that random but not so random synchronicity with you. All right, that's it. I'm really leaving this time. Yeah, I'm going. Look at me walking out the door. Oh my God, you guys. Dance harder. More furious dancing. Go play that song, Firestarter.